Hello, everyone. Hello, our audience that's growing. Thank you very much. And if you're watching on YouTube, please remember to subscribe to this because we're now ready in episode 16 of this. We've started to get the confidence now to start building our subscribers. So really, anybody who's been watching us from the start, we've been watching a new code, really, a new concept, and it's taken, a lot of thinking and a lot of confidence, hasn't it, for us all to get this going. So I don't know if anybody else is doing the chat show. And so today you'll notice there's only 3 of us, and there was 4 of us up until about 7 minutes ago when Kim Adele got a call from her nursery school saying, we've got an outbreak of COVID, you've got to collect your daughter. So any other mums and dads out there with little ones will know that she's now just going into 10 days of isolation. So, and the other thing is Kim is our tech guru. She is our producer. So Sam has quickly picked up the skills to be able to help us go live and everything. So you're seeing the live world of pandemic crisis, aren't you? So today our theme is about why don't people keep to their New Year's resolutions? And we just had Blue Monday, haven't we? And we are so lucky because one of our amazing chat show hosts is Caroline Rice, and she is not only an amazingly experienced life coach, but also runs her life coaching academy called Pure Coaching Academy. And I want us to inspire you today about the importance of getting life coaching skills because, well, as we'll talk to Caroline about it, they are for all of us, really, whether we're parents, leaders, daughters, wives, mothers, and business people, and whether you decide then to become a life coach. So the Pure Coaching Academy is where you can read more about this. So before we go on to that, let's have our general chat, which is about how our week's going and any messages coming. So I'm going to come to you, Sam, first. What's this week been like for you?
Well, up until 5 minutes ago when I got thrown into the director's chair, very well, thank you. I think we spoke about this last week, but I've been paying particular attention to people's positivity levels, and I listened to an amazing podcast with Tom Daly, which I posted about the other day, which talks about, and Penny, you talk about this a lot, being in your flow and focusing on the process rather than the outcome. Because I think at the beginning of the new year, and I know that Caroline's going to delve into this, we tend to look at the year as a whole and what are we going to achieve, like the big elephant, in that phrase where you try and eat an elephant all in one go. So what Tom Daly was saying on the podcast is that you need to focus on the process rather than the outcome. So less about the big idea and I want to be a millionaire by the end of 2021, but more about the flow, the moment, the process. What do I want to achieve just this week or just today or just this afternoon? What's really important? So that's what I've been focusing on this week with my clients.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm going to come to you in a minute, Caroline. I want to build on that because yesterday I ran my webinar, Business Health Check webinar. It is incredible how many people say that they know what success looks like to them. And in the health check thing I have, they say, people say, yeah, I know what success looks like. But you ask them if they know what actions they have to take or what their goal is, they haven't got it. They haven't broken it down. It's so interesting that it's like they're just stepping out the front door and saying, I'm going traveling, but no idea or no preparation for it, isn't it? Which, so I agree with you. I think that's been a message that I've really been getting strongly by this stage, which really does dovetail into to Caroline. So Caroline, before we really dig into the subject of life coaching, what sort of messages have you been getting this week?
I'll follow on what you've both said. A lot of people want to create things. And what I get with a new client is, I really want this thing. I'm clear about what I want, but I don't know the how. And as you said, Penny, you wouldn't set out on a journey without a map or a compass or something. But I always say to them, don't let the how frighten you. One step at a time is the how. And any step is progress. So we break it down into the small steps. And I think that's what we all, don't be frightened by the how. Start taking what action steps you can take. The path then starts to open up.
Yeah, well, I guess that's why people like us get get busy with this coaching and helping people, which is really lovely. And I'm sure there's some coaches that are listening to us. So please add comments to this if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook. We're going to try and monitor the comments, but we might be a little bit overwhelmed today. So, but please do add them in there. So, Caroline, you're a life coach now. You have had the most phenomenal career. When we got to know you, you just inspired us so much by your journey as a journalist, and just phenomenal. Tell us, let me just, before I come to that, life coaching to me, I first learned about it about 20 years ago. I heard people talk about life coaching, and it had sort of quite an app. And the business coaches sort of treated it as if that was a bit tree huggy and a bit, you remember those? And now it seems almost wrong not to have a life coach. It's like such an important fundamental thing to have. So what took you into life coaching?
Well, I think I wish everybody thought like you, Penny, that everyone should have a coach. Yeah, about 20 years ago, I did some work with the Samaritans, and I liked helping people, but that was on the other side of it, as people who were getting fed up with life. And I thought there's got to be a way of helping people who aren't at their wits' end, who aren't in despair. And then I read about coaching in a magazine in the hairdressers, like you do, having your highlights done. I thought, oh, this sounds amazing. And lo and behold, I was made redundant from the newspaper where I worked, and I used my redundancy money to invest in a coaching course. Now, at that time, there was only one in the world, and that was Coach U in America. And I had a little bit of redundancy money, and it cost $3,500, and it took 2 years to do. And you had to phone, no Zoom, phone America for 5 hours a week, sometimes 3 in the morning, to get the modules. And it was a really long 2 years. I had a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old at the time. And that was the only thing. And I loved it, though, but it was a really long course. But then when I graduated, no one knew what a life coach was. It was like, are you a personal trainer? No. Do you help me hang wallpaper in my home? No. Can you help me with my makeup? They thought I was like a lifestyle consultant sort of thing. And so back then, when I graduated about 18 years ago, it was an education process to actually say to people, this is what a coach is. Now, of course, now, all the years have gone by, people sort of know what a coach is. And then the next question I get is, well, is it a flooded market? No, because there's only one of you. So if you set up in business, you are unique to you. And I'm the coach that I am because I'm Carol Ann, and I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but my clients are drawn by my marketing message. If you're a new age coach or a light worker or an energy coach, your clients are drawn to your offer. Or you're a kick-ass business coach, they want that. So it's not a flooded market. There's a coach for every single person. It's just, of course, as Hannah will tell your daughter, it's all about the branding. It's all about getting your message out there and having the confidence to be your own kind of coach, really. And of course, everybody needs a coach because we never get to the end of our own potential. We are limitless, but we make ourselves limited with our fears.
So I know you've developed some incredible IP, and you've brought it to us when we've had some group sessions, and it's been incredible. But when somebody applies to the Pure Coaching Academy to say, I want to be a coach, what are the sort of soft skills and attitude that they need to have for you to know that they're going to be good at that?
I think what unites all coaches is empathy. I think a general desire to be of service to others, to help others. Now, if you Google actionforhappiness.org, I think it is, and they do a list of the 10 things that make a human being happy, in the top 5, it's being of service to others. So imagine having a career that you're topping up your happiness levels and getting paid for it and being of service to others. It's a win-win, fantastic career. And I think so people who are empathetic, people who love helping others, people who've had some wisdom and maybe even a few traumas. This is the only career ever that if you were going to an interview, you'd say, yeah, I've had divorce, I've been overweight, I've suffered depression, I've had cancer. And that would be to your benefit because your clients think they're talking my language. If you went to any other job and said, yeah, I've suffered with weight issues or I've had, some terrible things, loss and redundancy, they'd say, well, it doesn't sound like a good bet. But when you flag up your life experiences, good and bad, on your website as a coach, people think you're real. I want to talk to this person who's overcome those human issues and survived, not only survived, flourished. And I think this is the only profession, again, where adversity actually adds to your repertoire of skills. You've been there and you've done it and you've overcome.
I think you're right. I think it's the same with any coach. What people want to know when they work with you is, do you get it? Are you real? Are you grounded? And I hear that with SMEs, and they can see that I'm an SME owner myself. And when they step into my office, they can see that I've got my own office. They can see that I've run my own team, that I have to look after my own finances, marketing, budget, blah, blah, blah. They know that I understand it. I can walk the walk and talk the talk. And I think that's what you're referring to, Caroline.
It is. Almost every new coach who comes on the academy says, I've got the imposter syndrome. I don't think I can tell other people or help other people have perfect lives when I haven't got a perfect life myself. Well, no one has. And when I remember having that same crisis of confidence years ago, working with my own coach, and I said, I feel a fake. I can't possibly teach people how to be their best when I shout and swear, drink too much sometimes, overeat occasionally, not always the best me. She said, yeah, but you're real. And that's why I call myself the real coach, because this is it. You know, and I'm not in an ivory tower, and I will help you get your best life by being your true authentic self. And none of us are perfect. And it's like self-forgiveness and just kind of playing to your strengths. But, you know, everybody could do so much more with their lives with a coach. And I know I would say that, but we actually get stuck in our own rut of our meanness, going to over and over the same repetitive habitual behavior. A coach helps you go from that circle into a new direction of new possibility, and we can't do it on our own.
Yeah, I remember, you know, when I was listening to you just then, Sam, I remember 20 years ago when Business Link was around and they wanted to partner with us at the Academy. And so I met a few of the people there, and they were all ex-bank managers and things, coaching people. And it was so academic. It was so, you know, there was no empathy, as you say. It was just structure and process and tick these boxes and everything. It's great that we've moved forward on that. So so we've talked about the Pure Coaching Academy, and that's, you've got one starting on the 27th of February, and I know you have tremendous success helping people to give birth to their new businesses, which I just love that. Now, if we delve into being a coach, because I know you have some clients that are lucky enough to have you directly coach them as well, which is fantastic. We had started this subject of a lot of people fail to achieve their New Year's resolutions. So what do you witness there? What's happening there?
Well, there was a report in Forbes magazine that said 80% of people by February have either given up or failed. You know, so you've given it 6 weeks basically, and you're already throwing in the towel. What's happening there is sometimes we set goals that are too high, too extraordinary, too difficult to get to, and so it becomes a self-defeating exercise. Oh, I'll never get there, it's too painful. No one wants punitive measures. I never diet in January. I think it's a cold, bitter month. If you want your carbs, have your carbs. If you want a glass of red wine, do. Maybe the time to start your diet and exercise is when it gets a bit lighter and a bit warmer and you feel happier to go out and you're not living on a lettuce leaf. I think the other thing is, and you probably know this in business, Penny, people want overnight success. Oh, you got your celery? Well, you can have a cake after and tell everyone your coach told you to do that. But, you know, people want an overnight success. They're not prepared to give it time. And if you want to start a business or lose weight or give up something, you've got to give it 2 or 3 months minimum before you see some results. And I think people want to see a quick change, drop the dress size, increase your weight. And I think they're not realistic in the goals that they set.
Yeah.
I think, Caroline, half the population of the UK have just absolutely blown you a kiss for saying, don't diet, have the carbs in January. They're all going, yay, let's bring on the carbs.
Yes. Or you could use January to plan And I even things like make sure you've got really nice workout gear. Because I remember years ago when I started running, I was like, really hate it, feel very self-conscious. My coach said to me, what are you wearing when you go out? I said, horrible old jumper, sweatshirt and rotten old leggings. He said, go and get a fantastic bit of kit that you really love wearing. So sometimes using January to plan, research, buy, get ready for, and then you feel much more confident. But I think just throwing yourself in cold to deprivation and punitive measures means that you think, well, this takes willpower, and willpower isn't sustainable. What I love is love to power or want to power. But I want to go for a run because I've got some smart new gear. I want to have this diet because it's delicious, not it's agony and I can't stick with it. I think you have to be really kind and and manage your expectations. It's going to take a few months before you start seeing results. And again, with a new business, it's not overnight success. Keep ploughing on, you will get there.
Yeah, I mean, that tenacity of anything, isn't it? But we are really hard on ourselves. Just listening to you, I'm thinking of all the ways that this month I'm being so hard on myself. I've in the interest of sharing, because we are very real, I've decided after 15 years to come off HRT, so I'm not sleeping well. It's bloody awful. I'm trying to lose some weight because I hate my pandemic weight that I've put on. So I'm trying to do some running. I'm trying to build my business more so that actually maybe when the sun does shine, I could not have to work as hard. So a lot of people are saying, I'm hearing this, I'm going to work really hard during this pandemic and this lockdown, because then, when things lighten up and I can enjoy life a bit, so we're all so hard on ourselves, aren't we?
We are. I think the other thing is, and we talked about goals earlier, and as you said, Penny, people know what they want. I want this, and they have a clear idea of it. But what they haven't thought of, how do I want to feel when I get to the goal? Now, I know so many people who have run a marathon, written the book, got the big house, and they say afterwards, it didn't feel how I wanted it to feel. So that's a Pyrrhic victory. If you get what you want and then it's suddenly, a bit of a letdown. I run the marathon, but my family weren't impressed. I run the marathon, but not many people sponsored me. Hold on a minute. What did you expect to get out of it? That's the first thing. If I was working with a client and they set a goal, how do you want to feel? Well, I want all my family and friends to love me. That's not guaranteed. You don't know that will happen. So what about running the marathon for you and your sense of personal achievement? And the other one is, I want the big house, I want the promotion. What for? For more money, for more prestige. Why might you want more prestige? Well, I might be more popular. Can't you be more popular now? I always start thinking, can you start making the here and now what you want, not just that goal over there that you hope you will feel what you will feel when you get there. You may not.
Yeah,
so I think.
Do people often, so some of those things that you've said, are people actually trying to have things that aren't actually within their control? I can't make people like me more.
Exactly. But people do have goals because they think it will bring popularity, acclaim, recognition, love. But you could have that now. You could have those things now by saying, okay, do I need to increase my social circle? What could I do to have more love now? How can I be more loving to others? If I want recognition, what could I do to make myself feel less in need of the need for recognition? Because if you're constantly outsourcing your needs to other people to give you the tick of approval, you'll always be powerless. If you can feel acceptance within yourself, you won't need to outsource it. So many people chase goals thinking they're going to get this wonderful thing at the end of it, and it doesn't feel like they thought it was going to feel. So they buy another car or start another business or get a new wife, and it goes on. You're like, well, what you need to start right now with filling the gaps in what you feel you're chasing here. So it's how will you feel? What's the feeling behind the goal? What do you think you're going to feel?
I hear that a lot in business, and I have to say more men than women actually. And I think it's the men, there seems to be a common theme that men that start from very humble beginnings and think that I'm going to give my family more than what I had. So it's all about the chase. It's that hamster wheel, and this is where it all begins, isn't it? It's the chase of getting more and then the bigger house, the bigger car, the best holidays. and the private school. And once they've done all of that, they suddenly just then think, what was all that about? It doesn't feel like I thought it was going to feel. I haven't got the same euphoria as I thought I was going to get. What's next? How do I better this? Where do I go now? You know, I see that a lot in men in my practice.
So I'm sorry, Caroline.
No, I was going to say, if you want to be a millionaire, try and be a millionaire now. And what I mean by that is, what do you think that wealth and riches will bring you? And you could probably go to a fabulous restaurant and spend £100, £200 when this isn't going on outside the window, of course, and feel like a millionaire today. I really wanted this pink diamond I saw in Tiffany's window one time. And I was thinking, oh, what must it be like to have this pink diamond? I went to Next. They had a pink glass ring, pink diamond, pink thing, £5. I bought it, I wore it for about 3 weeks. And do you know the thing about that sort of thing, like a fast car, beautiful watch, lovely ring? You soon forget you've got it. And luckily it broke because it was plastic and, you know, metal. And I thought, good, at least I didn't have to spend £200,000 on a pink ring. I had a £5 one from Next, and it kind of made me feel what I thought it might feel, and it wasn't necessary. So the things you think you're chasing are not, they have a very short luster, a very short lifespan. And if anyone's got a new car, love it, love it, love it. After about 3 months, you're not even seeing it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So when we look at goals that we really want to achieve and we believe it's possible, really desire it, and we might need to go out and get the knowledge and skills. So people come to you guys, myself, whatever, to get some of the knowledge skills to achieve that, or we say to them, you need this knowledge from somebody else or whatever. The big thing, and I'm sure you find this for your clients, is that will to make it happen, that tenacity to stick to something. How do people achieve that?
Sticking to something is the key here. It's consistency and turning up, showing up. So even once a day, doing one minor step towards it, a bit of marketing, a bit of research, having a connection with someone. And of course, I am a great fan of one of these, a vision board. You do these vision boards. This is my old one from last year with some of my images on it. I've got a new one up here. When I'm sitting here, I look up at my vision board here and I think, is looking through the Bowden sale catalogue online getting me towards that fabulous image up there, which is my dream? No, it's not, Caroline. Go back. Go back. Stop looking at Bowden. Start looking at your vision up here. And then I do one thing each day to move me forward. And, you know, sometimes the vision changes. We've all done that thing, thinking this is the thing I want. And as you get a bit closer to it, no, it isn't quite this thing. But, you know, having small landmarks, having after a month reassessing, how am I doing? How can I reward myself with a little treat because I'm a little bit further along? Of course, having a coach really helps you keep on track. But if you haven't got a coach, get a buddy who's also got a big dream, who wants to write that book, get fitter, start a small business, and check in with each other once a week. What have you done? Have an accountability buddy to say, I have done this week, because procrastination isn't going to get you there.
And I think, I second that. And every coach needs your coach, right? And we all endorse that. Yeah. And I've got my elite mastermind group. We now check in 8:30 every Friday morning together. A quick, short, sharp, what are the 3 things we're going to achieve this week? And we don't dare turn up without achieving them. And I have to say, you know, I am a massive queen of procrastination and I can do it better than anybody. But having this weekly accountability on a Friday, it's really given me the focus. Like every day I can see these 3 rocks. You know, they're just like a beacon like this at me. Have I achieved my 3 rocks? And it does, you're right. Accountability coach, or I've got a few of them, it works.
And having a mastermind group, we're both on with Penny's mastermind group. Brilliant. Meet each month with other ambitious people. And you'd be surprised that when you actually tell people you have done a lot. If you're on your own, you think, I'm not getting anywhere fast. But if you actually reel it off to someone, actually, I'm doing quite a lot, actually. It may not be going as fast as I like, but I am all out to doing what I can to get there, you know. And we all need support. We all need a community of like-minded people. And you need to have people who are equally ambitious, who will pull you along, cheer you on, and you do the same for them. It's hard to be self-motivated all the time.
It is, and one of the things that I do, I've got my Trello board for managing my projects and all this stuff, but I still have my to-do list spot here.
Yeah.
Each tick here that when I fill it in, gives me a bit of a dopamine boost. It gives me that reward that today, if I didn't do it, I wouldn't close up at the end of the day and think I had achieved much. And that to me, and these things keep me accountable, but also keep me being positive towards myself about each little tiny step.
Yeah. Because working on your own, you don't really realise what you're achieving. And I know you write about this a lot, Penny, the loneliness of the long distance entrepreneur sort of thing. And it's, you need company and you need the support and cheerleading of other people who know what it's like to sit at your desk and think this is going nowhere fast, but actually you are. And it is all about showing up, consistency, and believing and loving your goal so much that it's not negotiable.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give up on all this. How will you feel if you give up? If there's any hint of regret, then don't give up. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And whatever it takes, get a coach, get a friend, someone to help push you along.
Yeah.
We can't do it on our own. We can't do it on our own.
We can't. It's just so tough. So that was an incredible insight into it. As we sort of close down for this week, and next week we will have Kim Adele back with us. What sort of tips can we give for the week going forward? What would you say, Sam? Oh.
There's always one. I think it's about finding that flow and being in the moment, not trying to take on too much. Caroline, you've absolutely, I think, just reinforced what all of us do in January. I am going to change everything. We're going to lose weight. We're going to stop drinking. We're going to be a different person. We're going to do this, do that. And it's 101 things that we think we're going to achieve in 31 days. And, we blink and it's already the 21st. We think, oh God, I haven't even started that yet. So I think just be realistic, be in the moment, focus on the process, not the big outcome. Don't worry about losing a stone, just worry about losing a pound. One thing at a time.
Yeah, love it. My tip is do one of these, have your vision board, because it helps to get a very clear vision of what you're looking for. Sometimes it's going around in your brain or you've written it down, but to have images, it helps you focus. I'm going to put a small film on the Business Blondes Facebook page of how to create a vision board that my students did, and it's a really helpful thing. Everyone should have one. Do one in January, look at it for the year, look at it next December and say, gee, I've got all those goodies up there.
I love that. I'm going to do the vision board because every year one of my things is always lose weight, and every so often it's interesting. I'll come across an old photo and I'll think, oh, I want to be like that again. And then it goes. And if I had that actually in front of me, that would really help a lot. I think what I would say going forward is for people, and we talked earlier about the fact that people have this sense of what success is, but they haven't really defined how they're going to achieve it. So my tip would be, don't be frightened of investing in yourself. I think it's amazing how few people invest in themselves. If they are their own company, say they're a business owner, if they had staff, they'd be constantly investing in the development of their staff. So, go and get a life coach or a business coach this year. It will make phenomenal difference. It really will. When I was really down on my money, the dollar was really scary to me. I invested in an accountability coach to help me write my book. And, it made such a difference. And so, people in scarcity think, I can't afford these things. But if you're going to get out of this repeat situation, you've got to do it. And I'm gonna love that vision board. I'm gonna make one for myself. So as we come to the end of the show, thank you so much, Carol-Anne, for sharing your
very much
amazing knowledge. And Sam, when you share your thoughts on your business coaching and how you handle your clients, I think they're so lucky. It's such a lovely environment you create for them. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, please go to our website where we've got a form, and we usually have a guest, but every so often we just want to keep it to ourselves and showcase some of the skills in our own area and thoughts. So go to www.businessblondes.tv, Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share us with others. There aren't many women like us doing chat shows, and we really put a lot into this, and we would love this to be successful. So if you're an entrepreneur, get behind us as entrepreneurs as well. That would really be appreciated by us. I think at the moment we've got just under 60 subscribers, which is a bit embarrassing. We need to get that up. And finally, just have an amazing week, everyone, and just make it fantastic and have the will to make your life great.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.